I start my new job tomorrow in a high school science classroom.
I work for Clark Construction, and I will be a project engineer. I got promoted.
So I'm currently a follow-up analyst for Stellantis. We monitor parts from all over the world. We build vehicles as well.
I am going to be starting at Dynatrace right here in Fort Field.
After graduation, I've got a job working in the ICU at St. John Hospital.
I recently just got a job at Little Caesars Corporate right next door doing account management.
I was offered a full-time position at Magna Electronics where I was interning. I'm going to be a software engineer.
What's next for me? I am currently working at an advertising agency, and I plan to continue working there and pursuing my PhD.
And now I have a job at GM where I'll be an engineer in their track program.
I'm graduating with a PhD in communication, and my next step is taking a research position at a nonprofit in DC.
I got an offer at GM in the rotational program.
My next stop is starting a new job, San John. I just got offered a cardiac unit, and I'm excited.
I will be starting full-time in public accounting at Plant Moran in their international tax.
Working for JP Morgan and Chase.
I'm graduating with a bachelor's of science in nursing, and I'm starting a position at Beaumont Royal Oak in the neurotrauma surgical ICU.
Honored guests, please welcome Wayne State University's Class of 2022. Honored guests, families, and friends, please join together in welcoming Wayne State University's Dean of Students, David Strauss.
can sit down. Oh, we're on now. There we go. Please be seated. It is so great to see all of you here this afternoon. What a joyous occasion for everyone here in the field house. On behalf of the Dean of Students Office, the Student Senate, and all the student organizations, let me be the first to welcome and congratulate all of you gathered here today for this momentous occasion, the confirmation and celebration of Wayne State University's Eugene Applebaum School of Pharmacy and Health Sciences and the College of Engineering class of 2022. To formally start the ceremony, I would like to ask that everyone please stand as we call the ceremony to order with the traditional opening march. It is my pleasure to present to you the members of the Wayne State University Board of Governors, the president, deans, and members of the university administration. It is also my pleasure to welcome members of your faculty. Thank you, and please remain standing for our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed, and those twilights last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we won, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they proved through the night that our flag was still there. Old State was that star-spangled banner wave. For the land of free and the home of brave.
What a great way to start this special celebration. Everyone, please be seated. I would like to draw your attention to the academic mace of Wayne State University. The mace is in the center of the stage. This mace is a ceremonial scepter that symbolizes the highest ideals of humankind: harmony, truth, justice, and learning. By tradition, the mace is presented at commencement in a position of prominence to all those gathered to represent and celebrate this auspicious occasion. And now at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Mark Lawrence Kornblue. Provost Kornblue.
Thank you, David. Good afternoon, and welcome to Wayne State University. Today's commencement ceremony is very special in that it marks the return to our graduation events on our own beautiful campus, and we're thrilled to be back in our new field house. It is my honor to start this ceremony by introducing you to the 2022 Winter, Spring, and Summer graduating class from the Eugene Applebaum School of Pharmacy, Health and Health Sciences, and the College of Engineering. Will all the graduates please stand with me and help me honor the mothers who are here today? It's a very special occasion on Mother's Day. Please be seated. I would also like to welcome the university's academic and administrative leadership gathered here to lend their congratulations to the class of 2022. I ask the deans and senior administrators seated on the stage to stand and be recognized. As one of the nation's largest public universities, Wayne State University has anchored the city of Detroit as an engaged and motivated community of scholars since 1868. Wayne State is also home to Michigan's most diverse student body, with over 27,000 students from across the globe earning their undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. Wayne State is a top-ranked research university, which is strengthened by our culture, industry, and the diversity of our urban environment. Graduates, you've grown immensely during your time here at Wayne. Your knowledge in your chosen field has increased and carried you here today to graduation day. You've developed and honed your skills and are ready to go into the world. But let us remember that this moment is not yours alone. Without the help and sacrifice of your loved ones, your journey here would not have been possible. Graduates, please stand and give a big thank you to your family, friends, and honored guests here today. Please be seated. It is now my pleasure to introduce you to the chair of the university's Board of Governors, the Honorable Mark Gaffney, who will bring greetings on behalf of the board. Governor Gaffney.
Thank you, Provost Kornblue. Good afternoon to each and every one of you on this exciting and special day. This weekend marks the return of commencement ceremonies to the Wayne State campus, and the first held in our own field house. On behalf of all of the members of the Board of Governors, let me say it is good to be home with you all. It is our distinct pleasure to welcome all of the graduates of the class of 2022 and to extend to you our deepest and most heartfelt congratulations. I would like to take a moment to add a special welcome to the mothers in our audience. Thank you for spending Mother's Day with us. We are so fortunate to have you with us to celebrate the achievement of your sons and daughters, and certainly recognize your part in that achievement. Today's celebration in our arena is a welcome tribute and acknowledgement of what commencement means to all of us. This is a place that instills hope for big dreams and wonder for the future. You have worked hard to achieve these dreams, and you should be proud, as we are, of your accomplishments. Your dedication and your commitment have brought you to this moment and set the path for your future success. Again, on behalf of the Board of Governors and from our entire Wayne State community, congratulations to each and every one of you and best success in the upcoming years.
Graduates, your journey here today could not have been undertaken without the help, guidance, mentoring, and instruction from our esteemed faculty. I would like to introduce Noreen Rossi, Vice Chair of the Academic Senate and Professor of Medicine in the Wayne State School of Medicine, who will bring greetings on behalf of the faculty. Professor Rossi.
Thank you, Provost Carnblue. On behalf of the faculty of Wayne State University, I would like to offer each of you my warmest congratulations. This is a particularly joyful day for all here, for students, family, especially mothers, and all of those who have acted as mothers for those who did not have mothers available. Friends, faculty, and administrators. You have achieved your respective degrees not only by facing the challenges of a rigorous education, but also by navigating your path through the unpredictable and ever-changing milieu of a pandemic, a very unexpected additional hurdle. The faculty of Wayne State joined you in this journey with our deep commitment to teaching, guiding, and mentoring you as together we navigated the unforeseen barriers and continued to provide the new knowledge, state-of-the-art research, and applications in each of your chosen fields. More than any other class in recent memory, particularly in the fields of endeavors and disciplines that are present here today, you recognize the reality that much is unknown. You are prepared to face that unknown and discover a future that is unimaginable, a future for our fellow human beings and the planet that desperately needs the creative, bright, energetic, hardworking, passionate, and compassionate individuals that you are. It may seem paradoxical to have engineering and allied health students together in a graduation ceremony. What do these broad fields have in common? All too often, we take your fields for granted until something fails to work. Whether it is our bodies, our infrastructure, devices, or our computer and electronic functions. You are in health fields that particularly touch the core of humanity. By providing, developing, and refining pharmaceutical treatments, clinical laboratory and pathological evaluations, by strengthening and re-educating injured bodies and through physical and occupational therapy, by the skills in forensic or mortuary science needed at the most difficult times when our efforts to save life have failed. Engineers are not only instrumental in making discoveries, but implementing those discoveries, transforming theory into reality. By designing a sustainable and environmentally sound infrastructure, by identifying, developing, and executing innovative chemical, electrical, and mechanical applications, and by advancing computer and technological capabilities. Not only do individuals in engineering and allied health discover novel and important findings and cutting-edge ideas, your dynamism and knowledge will be the source for a better world that is both personalized and transformative. The education you have received here at Wayne State will undoubtedly enable you to obtain a good job and to excel. Certainly your knowledge, skills, and enthusiasm are sorely needed In addition to providing our students with knowledge, the faculty at Wayne State have dedicated themselves to empower each and every one of you to think critically, to distinguish sound ideas from half-baked notions, to grapple with unforeseen and sometimes divisive questions that beset our respective disciplines and society as a whole, with an insistence on justice, mutual respect, and inclusion. Rest assured that what you have learned here at Wayne State has prepared you to continue your education out in the wider world. I hope that we as faculty members have taught you that learning is a lifelong pursuit. Life is going to demand much of you, and I am confident that the preparation you received here enabled you to meet, overcome, and turn those challenges into opportunities. In years to come, you may not remember a word that was spoken from this podium. What you will recall, hopefully, with fondness and even joy, are the moments when a difficult concept finally crystallized, the time a new skill became second nature, the teachers and mentors that guided you, and the friendship that has endured. Let me close by saying that the faculty and administration are very proud of you, our graduates, and we look forward to hearing from you and witnessing your successes as you move forward. What you accomplish, what you will become, will be a source of vicarious pleasure to those of us who have been your teachers and mentors. You have graduated from a very special university, one that defines excellence in terms of whom we include, not whom we exclude, a university that respects the students enough to demand much of them, but that also shows its students understanding and encouragement. Today, we share your pride and your hope for the future, a future that will be shaped by your imagination and efforts. Congratulations again on your success today. I know you will continue to learn and build upon the foundation you have received here at Wayne State throughout your lives. My fellow faculty members and I wish you the best.
Thank you, Professor Rossi. It is now with distinct pleasure that I introduce Wayne State University's 12th president, Dr. M. Roy Wilson.
Thank you, Provost. As with my colleagues, let me first of all start off with Happy Mother's Day. Graduates, colleagues, special guests, family, and friends, after 2 years of being apart, we're at long last gathered together in person to celebrate the most special moment in a university student's career, commencement. It is a joyful day. This year is different because you are different. Our graduates, our warriors, in spite of all the world threw at you, including a global pandemic that shut down much of the world, you kept fighting and earned your degrees. Some people call that grit. On this campus, we call it warrior strong. And that grit, that spirit of determination to persevere at all costs has prepared you for life in a way you will someday appreciate, if not today. When I began to think about my words for today, the first thing that came to my mind was a quote I've long admired from the 26th President of the United States, Teddy Roosevelt. 112 years ago, in the spring of 1910, he said these words to an audience gathering at the Sorbonne in Paris, France. Although he used the masculine noun and pronoun, his message is equally applicable to men and women. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. Teddy Roosevelt knew the arena. He dared greatly. He fought literally and figuratively throughout his life and won far more than he lost. He would never be counted among the cold and timid souls. His words made me think of all of you, of the class of 2022. You are the warriors in the arena who accepted the high standards that Wayne State demanded of you as students and surpassed them, who not only weathered the pandemic, but conquered in spite of it, who cared for those in your communities and lent a helping hand, who reckoned with the injustices still suffered by too many in our country and fought for better. You practiced patience, sacrifice, resolve, hard work, compassion for others, action in the face of injustice. The credit belongs to you, the warriors in the arena. I have great hopes for the graduates in this room. You have the character, the determination, and the intellect to realize your dreams, and in doing so, make the world a better place. You might be anxious about the future, but I'm here to tell you that you are ready for it. So no matter where your next chapter leads you, to the warriors in the arena, I congratulate you and wish you the very best of life. Thank you.
Thank you, President Wilson. Over 3,800 students from our 13 schools and colleges are eligible to graduate during this term. Many of those students attained a level of academic achievement that we want to celebrate with you. Students from the Irvin D. Reed Honors College celebrate a wonderful tradition of academic achievement and have earned university and departmental honor designations. Please turn your attention to the video board for a message from the Dean of the Honors College, John Corvino.
Mr. President, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the schools and colleges at Wayne State University, I have the honor to present these outstanding students who have completed the honors curriculum in their respective departments or the general university honors curriculum as listed in the commencement program. They are wearing a gold collar in recognition of this accomplishment.
Thank you, Dean Corvino. Mr. President, from the Eugene Applebaum College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, the doctor, master, and bachelor degree candidates will be presented by Dean Brian Cummings. Will the candidates please stand? All the candidates from Applebaum, please stand.
There we go. One more thing to get through. Mr. President, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the Eugene Applebaum College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees listed in the commencement program.
Thank you, Dean Cummings. Will the candidates please be seated? Mr. President, from the College of Engineering, the master's and bachelor degree candidates will be presented by Associate Dean Leslie Montplaisir. Will all the candidates from the College of Engineering please stand?
Mr. President, on behalf of Dean Farshad Fatui and upon the recommendation of the faculty of the College of Engineering, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees as listed in the commencement program.
Thank you, Dean Montplaisir. Will all the candidates please stand from both colleges? Mr. President.
The authority to confer each of these degrees is vested in the Board of Governors of Wayne State University by the people of the state of Michigan under the Constitution of the state. This authority is delegated to the president by the board. Each of these degrees is granted on the recommendation of the faculty of the university. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors, and upon the recommendation of the respective faculties, I do hereby confer upon you the degree for which the faculties have recommended you, and I admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. Congratulations.
One more time, our 2022 graduates, congratulations. Will our graduates please be seated? Honored guests, it is now the moment that our graduates have worked so hard to achieve, the receiving of their diplomas. We ask that all guests remain in their seats during the diploma march. I'll now call all the degree candidates to the stage to participate in the diploma march, but please process by rows, beginning in the first row, following the directions at the staff or the head of each row. So first row.
Rola Hariri. Stephen Forgu. Thank you. Emma Bond. Thank you. Cheryl Sturkley. Thank you. Neda Al-Dalali. Rania Al-Shawari. Rita Isa. I got that wrong. Haley Pereira. Morgan Smith. Hayat Dabaja. Elizabeth Covinia. Yeah. Sam Mentis. Emily Miros. Thomas LaRue, sorry. Trevor Sexus. Yeah. Brittany Craig. You tell me when. Megan Kiersmaker. Bina Phillip. Elise Seitz. Jillian Bostovich. Olivia White. Sorry. Dina Chibli. Rebab Shohati. Thank you. Manal Asi. Thank you. Hind Mokrim. Thank you. Marana Losia. Harara Al-Chiban. Caitlin Hayka. Thank you. Zainab Ahmed. Good. Kalud Al-Taish. Yasmin Zokari. Dalal Isho. Estering Aditi. Zene Williams. Glendy Escalante Corbin, Mark Sabit, Alexandria Speen, Azali Miller, Brianna Zettel, Ronnie Jamil, Kaylee Bell. We're good. Dima Charara, Fatima Mohammed, Nidia Andre Chavez. I'm so sorry. Tina Wynn, Hannah Delap, Michaela Nabak, Rana Mohammed, Summer Elijami, Ala Rida, Lydia McIntyre, Kiara Green, Afnan Al-Karni,
Baraka Doshi, Sai Kata, Adam Palucci, Claude Camden. Is it Rajab? Okay. Mohammed Rajab. Karen Mansour. Noor Al-Kuka. Jalen Churko. Jacqueline Ferguson. Fahima Begum. Jason Klekmovsky. Mallory Reardon. Nasreen Aldulame. Ibtisam Al-Khatib. Andrew Haas.
Basil Wisoff. Jennifer Schmidt. James Durr. Moti Gamira. Emmanuel Adaniji. Elise Parker. Sally Karam. Lawrence Young. Melvin Edwards. Elena Yalich. Jason Kabzinski. Elizabeth Tomkoviak. Sabrina Pakula. Donna Akil. Sarah Grillo. Victoria Hogue. Wesley Barker. Al-Qadashi. Diab Al-Qadashi. Partha Das. Chinmay Pote. Amanda Nowicki. Ziad Zakim. Scott Marsh. Rachel Bolin. Ashwari Kumar. Sophia Pulika.
Christine Hampton. Hannah Joins. Krista Bowie. Chalhan Ye. Sharam Bemardi. Joy Ojukum. Faraz Subi. Abraham Mir. Hong Tran. Oliver Rice. Benjamin Raish. Mahadi Darwish. Husan Salah. Shihab. Mohammed Shihab. I can do that. Connor Lamb. Marissa O'Day. Drake. Jillian Drake. Stephanie Miller. Bobby Surawanshi. Taran Marwaha. Roshan Saganesh. Pallavi Kulkarni. Pranit Swarna Kumran. Ahmed Allen. Cameron Hansen. Masera El Azazi. Tarek Babakar. Ashley Smoke. Hoi Hu. Nambu. Jesse Dehahun Lee.
Sukhmani Sidhu. Estefania Mejia. Olivia Giramonti. Grace Kayat. Joanna Harkey. Octavia Carrington. Micah Slade. Ahmad Al-Kartani. Abraham Salem. Yazid Almari. Damon Bowman, Kevin Claus, Michael Green, Kassem Faraj, Natalie Yepes Rico, Chris Wood, Lauren Thomas, Matthew Kohatsu, Aaron Stepp, Zachary Dijak, Jorge Sanchez Jr., Artie Mako, Shoyab Amason, Yazid Muflahi, Cameron Eskander, Munir Islam, David Blust,
That's my boy. Let's go. Yeah, that's my boy.
Patrick Wetzel, Brandon Koros, Simon Isho, Adetha Sarama Chandran, Saru Abdallah, okay, hold on a second. Sarah Abdallah, Mark Rogers, Nicholas Dedvukai, Timothy Haddad, Salem Baraka, Dennis Allen, Tampan Das, Opie Ali, Renee Cole, Miriam Khalil, Christopher Spencer, Ryan Smith, Matthew Alcamono, Okash Udapi, Zachary Lundberg, Jacob Knoll, Julia Milanarevki, Selena Salan, Romario Butris, Jadim Shamoun, Mortaza Ali, Muhammad Ismail, Masi Mehta, Akshay Patel, Kareem Nasser, Ezekiel Ulvera, Jaylavon Walker, Carlos Martinez, Ryan Thompson, Thomas Hindi, Ubada Hamoda, Omar Al-Haider, Nasreen Nisha, Tanim Sheikh, Caleb Obi, Ryan West, Kunjit Patel, Hussein El-Sibai, Ramon Dunbar, Munmeeth Bogal, Danielle Williams, Savannah Davis, Mohammed Rahman, Brett Gloomis, Nathan Tappan,
Isam Kawud, Garrett Hirschenberger, Samantha Cherney, Ryan Schaefer, Aaron Brown, Geneva Yarema, Kristen McCormick, Katie Tyrell, Sony Yin Ko, Elena Chunya, Sanedeep Kaur, Kavleen Kaur, Nawaf Alsiye, Tahir Alashawal, Ali Nassar, Matthew Cordy, Christopher Gameni, Viona Vaselli, Kyle Feldman, Muhammin Chaudhuri, Syed Safwar, Joseph DiMaria, Veronica Dean, Paul Drempton, Peter Kostastin, Nilesh Bolu, Fahim Sahel, Galab Aljami, Obad Badani, Dawood Ali, Aisha Shamim, Kendall Secord, Stephen Dunlop, Rahad Al-Shwakani, Kina Pandia, Arum Jeharaman, Namdi Manwe, Dean Prim, Connor Fox, Mark Slattery, Gregory Flores, Gabriela Cervantes, Salma Alzud, Brandon Spencer, Alexander Shemansky. Spencer Feewig. Mark Lundy. Shariar Alman. Victoria Tarver. Ricky Glasper. McKaywan Boyu. Adam Eisler. Sukhwinder Singh. Brendan Madigan. Blake Rosinski. Arif Hassan. Abdul Hassan. Atasamul Haq. Abdul Maboob. Raisa Zamon. Ayesha Tabasum. Moaz Al-Yafi. Amar Abdullah. James McCluskey. Bella Sue. Haega Nasir. Reem Tamimi. Aisha Akbar. Darquin Malone. Taylor Dixon. Dominique Vong C. Prasom. Jordan Colina. Fabio Iacovo. Devin Simmons. Sarah Fleschner. Jonathan Gomez. Samuel Agor. Ojashwi Panthi. Ashrit Eurokula.
Uttar Bhakti. Jordan Tran. Zachary Patriani. Pachia Vang. Christopher George. Justin Alasko. Noel Hall. Jacob Good. Khalid Awad. Hassan El Amin. Hussein Fiki. Raul Saith. Aaron Iman. Haydar Meherar. Z Chen. Brendan Kassab. James Daniel. Saeed Zaidi. Zachary Nikolai. Jacob Schuner. Adrian Tarnowski. Trevor Trusty. Hajar Al-Wahabi. Bharat Gadag. Families, friends, honored guests, may I present to you the 2022 graduating class from Wayne State. Thank you. Please be seated. It's now my pleasure to present this afternoon's student speaker, Hassan Khatib. Hassan is graduating with a Doctor of Pharmacy in the Eugene Applebaum College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
I wanted to come to Wayne State because I love the Detroit area. It's basically a hotbed of a lot of different health systems, and pharmacists are usually at the forefront of dosing medications, checking for drug interactions in these hospitals, and I wanted to be a part of that. In my undergraduate studies, I was in a lot of health science classes like biology and chemistry, and I wanted a career long-term that would allow me learn more about these and be able to use them in my day-to-day life once I'm outside of school. And being able to be a direct provider with patients and talk to them one-on-one and be able to use the knowledge I learned to help somebody out. Wayne State has really helped me get the research experience I was looking for alongside the clinical practice that I was looking to get to be the best pharmacist that I could be. My name is Hassan Khatib and I am Warrior Strong. Hello, Wayne State University, class of 2022. To say I am honored to take the stage before all of you amazing individuals today is an understatement. Today is a day in which we celebrate the great accomplishment of Wayne State Warriors who have earned their degrees from a variety of different programs across the university. For more than 150 years, Wayne State has anchored the city of Detroit as an engaged and motivated community of scholars. It is my honor and privilege to share this moment with everyone as we celebrate all of our hard work. On behalf of everyone here at the Eugene Applebaum College of Pharmacy and Health Sciences, I want to wish everyone a very happy graduation. I know I echo the entire faculty at the college when I say that I'm incredibly proud of us, not only for earning our degrees, but knowing that we will use our education to touch the health and well-being of so many people's lives. In this economy, our expertise is needed now more than ever for the problems that our schools, businesses, and society faces. Today, we join the ranks of alumni who are making a tangible difference out in the world. Our college is a special place, and I hope we will always look back on our time here with fondness, including all those late nights spent studying and poring over assignments. But remember, with all that you've achieved, you haven't achieved it alone. This moment is not only for you, but also for your family and friends who made so many sacrifices so that you could succeed. It is only with their help that we are able to accomplish what we did today. So take a moment. If that person is with you right now, tell them thank you and give them a smile. If they're not here today, be sure to give them a call and let them know that you couldn't have gotten to this point without them. This is everyone's moment to take a pause and reflect on the years of hard work that have led us to this day. This is a great achievement that hasn't come easily, especially considering the hardship of the pandemic over the past 2 years. Our determination to stick it out through the challenges have transformed us into the professionals we are today. We are intelligent, compassionate, and ready to get out there to perform some of the most important jobs in the world. So today, we go out into the world and utilize our skills with wisdom and compassion. Thank you everyone for your time, and I want to wish everyone my warmest congratulations on this very special day. And don't forget, graduates, remember to continue being warrior strong.
I would like to thank Hassan for their comments and wish them the very best in their endeavors. Now I'd like to introduce Anessa Morley, Executive Director of the Wayne State Alumni Association and Senior Director of Alumni Relations, to present a special welcome to our newest alumni. Please direct your attention once again to the video screen.
Congratulations, graduates. You arrived at Wayne State as students, but you leave as powerful examples of success. You have demonstrated that with grit, opportunity, and ambition, anything is possible. As you move your tassel from student to a graduate, you also move into the Wayne State alumni community of more than 290,000 warriors. There are Wayne State alumni in every corner of Detroit, in every part of Michigan, across the country, and around the world. No matter where your journey takes you, you will find a Wayne State connection. We hope you keep the connections that you have made during your time at Wayne State and continue to make new connections with fellow alumni. We also hope you will stay connected with your alumni association. We offer many programs and opportunities, from mentoring to lifelong learning and ways to give back. And we want to hear where life takes you. Please share your accomplishments and your updates with us as you achieve milestones throughout your journey. Keep in touch with us via our website at alumni.wayne.edu. On behalf of the Alumni Association, congratulations again on your accomplishments. We can't wait to see what you do next.
Thank you, Ms. Morley. Now, will all their doctoral and master's degree graduates from both colleges please stand? Master's and doctoral degree graduates. Will everyone join me in congratulating these students for their efforts and accomplishments? Congratulations, graduates. Okay, please be seated. Okay, will all the bachelor graduates now please stand? In a tradition that is continued at great universities from across the world, the turning of the tassel signifies the completion of your undergraduate degree. As I count to 3, will all the candidates for bachelor's degrees please turn their tassels from right to left? 1, 2, 3, turn. Woo! One more time. Congratulations, graduates 2022.
Graduates and honored guests, please remain standing as your seats as we prepare to close this ceremony as the platform party and faculty recess from the ceremony. Marshals, please escort the platform party and the faculty from the stage. This concludes this afternoon's commencement ceremony. congratulations to everyone here today. Thank you for celebrating with us. Have a great day.